This first video was filmed by a nurse in 2019 for an elderly resident of a nursing home. Even years later, she says the footage still keeps her up at night. The woman had asked to be recorded performing a blessing inside a particular room, one the residents whispered about, calling it the death room. Over time, a strange pattern had emerged. Anyone who stayed there seemed to fall seriously ill or pass away within a month or two. Hoping to break the cycle, the woman planned to cleanse the room and post the video to her Facebook group. She shared it, but unfortunately not because things went according to plan.
Heavenly Father, I ask for your divine presence to fill this space. May your light shine brightly through every room, cleansing this home of any negativity, fear, or unrest. Let peace dwell in every corner, and love be the foundation of every wall. Bless this home with your protection, surrounding it with your angels, and shielding it from harm and evil. May every door be a passage to your grace, and every window open to your blessings. In Jesus' name. May every door be a passage to your grace, and every window open to your blessings. In Jesus' name.
At first, everything seems normal. But then, the rosary she's holding lifts suddenly, almost violently, as if an unseen hand had yanked it. No one else is in the frame. The only rational explanation would be that she moved her arm or wrist, but the footage makes it clear she didn't. The nurse recording says she felt nauseous the entire time, convinced there was something wrong with the room. She also recalled another incident that still unsettles her. During a group therapy session, a therapy dog was present, one of those specially trained to stay calm and close to its handler.
Where's your other stuff? You want to have one? Use it.
Sheila.
Without warning, the dog broke from the group and stared directly at the same room. It didn't just stare, it whimpered, its focus fixed on the doorway as though seeing something no one else could. There was nothing visible in the room at the time. So what was it reacting to? The nurses who work here have only one explanation. They believe the room is haunted. Over the years, staff and residents alike have tried to address whatever is happening. But to this day, strange things continue to happen, and it's always, for some reason, involving this room.
Why is it beeping? I don't know, no one's in there. It's crazy. Get the light, get the light. You say you checked it? Yes. Did you just get that on camera? No. Stop. No, I'm not playing with you anymore. I don't like this. No, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. This is insane right now. Right there.
Right now.
Just like before, the room was empty, but objects still moved, noises still echoed, and the sense of a presence never left. Some have tried cleansing rituals, others have simply asked aloud for the disturbances to stop, but nothing seems to change. To this day, no one knows why this room remains different from all the others. And like all the videos I cover, I'll leave it to you to decide. What exactly is happening in room 112? And while the nurse's footage showed a presence tied to one room. In this next clip, footsteps echo through an entire house, testing whether disbelief can survive first-hand experience. This TikTok video posted by Taylor Watcha is one that's almost guaranteed to give you nightmares. Taylor's girlfriend had been telling him for a while that her house was haunted. Living alone, she frequently heard footsteps coming from upstairs, but Taylor wasn't convinced, brushing it off as nothing more than the sound of old creaking floorboards. That is, until one night when his girlfriend was still at work and Taylor found himself alone in her house. What he captured on his phone that evening completely changed his mind. Let's take a look.
My front camera is smashed, but I'm here at my girlfriend's house by myself. She always says it's haunted because it sounds like somebody is walking around upstairs. I've never heard it until now. I always say it's not haunted because the house is a little old. But it legit sounds like there's somebody upstairs. I will swing on a ghost, or if it's a person, I don't care. Who's up there? Oh my God, they're like at the top of the stairs. Come down these stairs and I will swing on you, I promise.
Out of nowhere, loud footsteps can be heard rushing down the stairs, but as you can see, there's nobody there. Instinctively, Taylor swings a punch into the empty air where the sounds are coming from, but of course, there's nothing to hit. It's hard not to be struck by how brave he remains, standing his ground as the unseen presence closes in. It's safe to say that after this night, Taylor is probably no longer a skeptic, if of course the video is real. Here's hoping he and his girlfriend can find a way to make peace with whatever is in that house, and that they won't have to endure nights like this again. Taylor faced something he couldn't see but could definitely hear. While in the following clip, sounds were followed by a reflection revealing a face that shouldn't be there at all. This footage was uploaded to Instagram by someone who was getting ready for bed late one night. As he moved toward his bedroom, he began hearing strange sounds echoing through his house. Footsteps creaking as though someone was walking around when no one else should have been there. Fearing an intruder had broken in, he grabbed his phone and began recording, hoping to capture evidence in case he needed to report it to the authorities. But what his camera ended up capturing was far more disturbing than any burglar. In the reflection of a mirror, a face with long, dark hair can be seen staring directly at him. What makes this even more chilling is the mirror itself, positioned to reflect straight back toward the person filming. In other words, this figure should have been standing right behind him or somehow inside the mirror. Realizing what he's caught on camera, he quickly turns around to check. But there's nothing there, just empty space where the terrifying figure should have been. So what exactly did this camera capture in that reflection? Was it a malevolent spirit, a demon, or something else entirely lurking in the mirror? And why could it only be seen in the glass, but not in reality? A mirror can catch what our eyes miss. Although in this next footage, a teenager captures activity that doesn't even need a reflection to show itself. A video posted on September 22, 2009 by a YouTuber known as Blackwing96 shows a young teen explaining that he's been hearing bumping noises coming from upstairs, directly where his room is. Curious but uneasy, he grabs his camera and makes his way up. It doesn't take long for things to turn seriously creepy.
I've been hearing some bumping noises upstairs, like right where my room is. I'm just gonna take a look at. Come on. Okay. Like, what the f was that? You guys hear that, right?
At around the 12-second mark, faint and unsettling voices can be heard coming from inside his room. About 30 seconds later, a loud bang, possibly a door slamming, echoes through the space, followed by a series of knocking noises. When he finally enters the room, everything seems normal at first, but that quickly changes.
I don't really know what I'm supposed to say. Oh, can you do that again? Fuck this.
Suddenly, a cup sitting on his dresser shifts on its own. No one is near it. Blackwing 96 is clearly stunned, stumbling over his words in disbelief. Nervously, he asks the spirit if it can do it again, and it does. The cup is knocked off the dresser, crashing to the floor and sending him fleeing in terror. Unfortunately, he hasn't posted anything in over 14 years, so an update is unlikely. Still, the video remains one of those early internet uploads that has stuck with viewers over the years. Some believe it may have been a clever setup, but there's something about the raw, unpolished nature of the footage and the genuine-sounding reaction that makes it hard to shake. Whether real or faked, it stands as one of the most memorable early examples of a so-called poltergeist caught on tape. One boy's dresser becomes the stage for unexplained movement, while the following footage shows an entire bakery plagued by objects that move as if guided by unseen hands. Now, this next segment features a collection of clips, all recorded inside a bakery in West Virginia. The place is known as Rock City Bakery, and according to Morgan, one of the co-owners, strange activity has been taking place there for quite some time. Only recently has she decided to share some of the footage she had been holding onto. Morgan explains that the staff believes all of these incidents are connected to a ghost they call Harry. He's said to be behind much of the unexplained activity in the shop. Kitchen trays flying off counters, heavy equipment shifting on its own, and countless other disturbances. But among all the footage captured, two particular videos stand out as the most unsettling. Morgan admits these are the ones she can hardly bring herself to watch, as they make her uneasy every time she comes to work. For context, Morgan often noticed items turning up in strange places, but the most frequent culprit was a plastic bowl shaped like a spider web. There were several of these around the bakery, and somehow they always seemed to appear where they didn't belong. Convinced Harry was behind it, Morgan eventually threw them all away, and for a while, the activity stopped. But one day, during a busy shift, she spotted a spiderweb bowl sitting on the customer's couch. At first, she thought maybe someone had brought it in and left it behind. Still, the sight of it unnerved her so much that she decided to check the cameras. What she found left her shaken. The footage appeared to show the bowl emerging directly out of a painting inside the shop. Like many who have seen the clip, Morgan admits she doesn't know what to make of it. To her, it looked as though the bowl had come out of the painting itself. She even wondered if this was Harry's way of getting back at her for throwing the others away. Not long after, another incident was caught on camera that left her and the rest of the staff even more disturbed. This one happened late at night, when the shop was completely empty. Once again, something seemed to come out of a painting. But this time, it didn't stop there. A plastic skeleton fell to the floor on its own, and moments later, the mysterious object revealed itself to be a can of soda. Morgan decided to share both clips online in hopes of finding an explanation, but so far, no one has been able to provide one. To this day, strange activity continues at Rock City Bakery. Whether Harry is truly to blame or something else entirely, the staff remains unsettled by what's happening inside their workplace. But what do you think? Could Harry really be haunting this bakery, or is there another explanation? The bakery's objects seemed to come from nowhere. But in this next clip, an Oregon cabin holds something just as inexplicable, watching from above instead of appearing from a wall. This next clip comes from the TikTok account, Hats Off to the Energy. According to the uploader, her sister has been fixing up an old cabin somewhere in Oregon, but the work hasn't gone smoothly. Her dog keeps interrupting her, acting spooked by something she can't see, and her toddler has begun talking to someone who isn't even there. As the video begins, the uploader films the outside of the cabin, documenting the progress. Everything looks quiet until something genuinely eerie happens.
There's something moving in the door. The thing is, that door in there is really stiff. Like all of them are. So, there's nothing hanging there. Fuck. It's creepy. It's gotta be something. I don't know what the f***. It just, what the
If you look closely at the top balcony, you can make out a strange, shadowy figure peering down at the camera. For a moment, it stays there, almost as if watching, before slowly retreating back inside the cabin. The uploader keeps filming, stunned at what she's just seen. Many commenters speculated that the figure might simply be a curtain blowing in the wind. But in a follow-up video, the uploader returns to the same spot and shows there are no curtains hanging there at all, making the original footage even more unsettling. She then walks viewers through the interior of the cabin, explaining that decades ago, a couple once lived here. The husband eventually passed away, and it seems as though all of their belongings were left behind. The place feels frozen in time. If that figure on the balcony wasn't a trick of the light or a coincidence, then something truly unexplainable may be happening here. Whether it's the lingering energy of the former residents or something entirely different, the atmosphere of this cabin leans unmistakably toward the haunted. Let me know what you think in the comments below. An old cabin frozen in time hints at lingering energy, while in the following footage, it's a 250-year-old house that gives up an object frozen in time whose contents feel alive. A woman named Amelia, better known online as Haunted Amelia, posted a video to her TikTok account where she revealed a shocking discovery inside her 250-year-old home. While exploring the property, she decided to look beneath the floorboards, where she unearthed a dusty, centuries-old book, along with some nails and papers. At first, it all seemed harmless. But as she began flipping through the pages, the contents grew increasingly unsettling.
This is when the pictures took an unsettling turn. The rest of the album is filled with pictures of empty rooms that have an unsettling feeling. A dark shadow appears in all of these photos.
Among the old portraits, Amelia stumbled upon what appeared to be a very old photograph of her own house. The rest of the album contained pictures of empty rooms, each carrying an ominous atmosphere. In many of these photos, a dark shadow can be seen lingering in the background, adding to the sense of dread. In another video posted later, Amelia documented something even creepier happening inside her home, not long after finding the mysterious book. Strange banging noises echoed from upstairs, a curtain shifted on its own, and an item suddenly fell from the wall. Then, Just as quickly, the recording ended, leaving viewers to wonder what happened next. Sadly, Amelia hasn't shared much more about the situation since. All we can hope is that she's living in peace, and that the sinister book she uncovered has been destroyed for good. Amelia's encounter proved that old houses can carry hidden energy. But in this next video, even an ordinary home becomes terrifying when something unexpected appears at the window. Over on TikTok, a man named Josh Robelot uploaded a video documenting some truly terrifying activity inside his home. At the start of the clip, Josh explains that he's just gotten back from work and insists there should be absolutely no one else in the house at that time of day. But as he pulled into the driveway, something immediately caught him off guard. Let's take a look.
I just pulled up, and what is that? Is that a person? Should be nobody in the house, nobody at all. Okay, well, guess I'll check it out.
Through the window of Josh's house, a dark figure can clearly be seen staring out. Yet when he rushes inside to investigate just moments later, there's nothing. No sign of forced entry, no trace of anyone lingering. It's as though the figure vanished into thin air, as if it was never there to begin with. In a second video uploaded later on, Josh is simply trying to unwind at home when he hears loud knocking sounds echoing from somewhere downstairs. Naturally, he grabs his phone to document what's happening, and from there, things only get stranger.
Not again. Here he goes downstairs. This is definitely not good. Hello? Hello? No, I don't think so. No. I'm done. I'm done.
Downstairs, a light begins flashing rapidly, and even more disturbingly, the child's rocking horse starts moving on its own. The clip ends shortly after, leaving viewers with more questions than answers. Taken together, these two videos paint an unnerving picture. It's one thing to spot a mysterious figure at a window, but to then witness noises, flashing lights, and objects moving on their own suggests this might be more than just a one-time event. Whether it's something demonic or simply incredibly persistent, you couldn't blame Josh if he decided to pack up and leave for good. Some viewers have speculated that it could be a hoax, but nothing conclusive supports that theory. Either way, believer or skeptic, there's no denying the eerie feeling these videos give off. Hopefully, Josh has found a way to cleanse his home or move somewhere far away. What do you think is happening here? Something paranormal or something else entirely? Let me know in the comments below. Josh's home was disturbed by figures and objects that moved on their own, while in the next clip, it's a house sitter's quiet night, interrupted by a voice that shouldn't exist. This next clip has been shared by TikTok user Megan Jamarco, a video she recorded while house sitting. She explained that one day, feeling bored, she decided to put on a movie to pass the time. But as she watched, she began hearing strange noises and, just to be safe, pulled out her phone to record what was happening. This is what she captured. Out of nowhere, a chilling voice can be heard asking, "Any way I can make you more comfortable?" At first, Megan thought it must have been dialogue from the movie playing in the background. But after rewinding the film, she realized that wasn't the case at all. Even more unsettling, if you look carefully at around the 14-second mark, you can see what appears to be the reflection of a dark, shadowy figure walking past the TV. To this day, Megan has no idea who or what was in the room with her. Maybe it was just a trick of the light, or perhaps it really was a spirit, one that, strangely enough, seemed to have good intentions. After all, it did ask if there was any way it could make her more comfortable. Hearing a voice with no source is disturbing enough. But in the following footage, a man wakes at 3 a.m. with the terrifying sense that something is already watching him. Over on TikTok, a Vietnamese user posted a video showing himself sleeping inside his home. Suddenly, just after 3 a.m., he wakes up with an overwhelming sense that he's being watched by something or someone. Yet when he checks his surroundings, nothing appears on camera. A few days later, at nearly the same time, the same feeling wakes him again. This time, he decides to take a photo of the room, and what he captures is absolutely horrifying. Take a look for yourself. It may be hard to see at first, but if you look closely or turn up your screen brightness, you can make out what appears to be a creepy entity hiding beneath his table. This story highlights how incredible the human brain and body can be. This man woke up feeling on edge before he even noticed the figure, almost as if his instincts were warning him of danger. If this video is genuine, it's a chilling example of intuition catching something the eyes haven't yet seen. But please, if you're watching this late at night, be sure to check your bedroom just for good measure. Catching a figure beneath the table was unsettling enough, but the following footage shows an even darker fear, something lurking just inches below where you sleep. This next video was uploaded by a man who experienced what could only be described as every child's worst nightmare, but then as an adult. It was 3 a.m. when he was suddenly jolted awake by strange noises coming from underneath his bed. At first, he tried to brush it off as the house settling, but the sounds only grew more persistent, scratching, shuffling, as though something was moving around down there. Unable to fall back asleep, he grabbed his phone, switched on the flashlight, and decided to check. What he discovered beneath the bed would haunt him. The footage shows something lurking in the shadows under the frame. Unsure of what he's seeing, he quickly goes to tell his friend in the other room, and together, they return to investigate.
Jack.
Approaching cautiously, they enter the room, only to be confronted by a dark figure rising up. In an instant, it rises, and both men flee in absolute terror. The video cuts there. Viewers remain divided. Some are convinced it's real, pointing to the fear in their voices and the sheer panic in their reactions. They argue no simple prank could create such genuine terror. Others, however, believe it could have been staged, an elaborate setup designed to unsettle. So what's your verdict? Did these men truly capture something supernatural lurking beneath the bed? Or was it nothing more than a cleverly executed hoax? The fear of something waiting beneath the bed is all too familiar. But in this next clip, the unease comes from a place you'd not so easily expect. In February of 2025, TikTok user Ginger and the Foxes posted a video of herself walking through a dinosaur museum at an undisclosed location. At first, everything appears completely normal as she casually explores the exhibits, filming her surroundings. She eventually stops in front of a massive pterosaur model, joking about how scary it looks. But as she films, something subtle happens. Something easy to miss if you're not paying close attention.
That's a little disconcerting. That thing is huge. Imagine trying to run away from that. No thanks, Jurassic Park. Gee.
If you watch carefully, the pterosaur's head seems to shift ever so slightly, just enough to catch the eye of anyone looking for it. It's one of those blink and you'll miss it moments, but if the clip is genuine, it raises some strange possibilities. Could something paranormal have briefly influenced this dinosaur statue? Maybe it was just a trick of the light, or even a tiny movement from the camera. But if not, then even museums, places we think of as still and unchanging, might not be safe from eerie forces. From a subtle movement inside a museum to a shadow caught in broad daylight. This last clip proves the strange doesn't always wait for the dark. TikTok user Flat7Ghost was relaxing at home in the middle of the day when he suddenly began hearing strange noises coming from somewhere nearby. Naturally, he grabbed his camera and went to investigate, unaware that things were about to take a terrifying turn.
Door's rattling again. So I'm just going to go and open it. Yeah.
What was that?
Mate, I'm not joking. What the hell was that?
What did you see?
There was something looking around the corner. Right, what the actual
As he rounds the corner, he catches a glimpse of something truly unsettling. What appears to be a shadowy figure briefly peering at him from around the edge. Off camera, his girlfriend asks what he saw, and he tries to explain it while cautiously continuing his search. But no matter how much he looks, the figure is nowhere to be found. Still, when you rewind the footage and brighten it up, it's hard to deny that something, or someone, is there, lurking just out of sight. What exactly it was, or what it wanted, remains a complete mystery. Some viewers believe it could be a ghost, while others think it's a shadow person or even a perfectly timed illusion. If it was staged, it's done with enough subtlety to leave room for doubt. So, what do you think is happening here? Paranormal activity or just a trick of the light? Now that was all for today, folks. If you enjoyed these horrifying clips, click to see more on the video on screen.